real business owners.
You're just always trying to find a way to improve. You're always trying to evolve. How old are you?
25.
25. Yeah. So you're still young, but you've figured it out at such a young age, which is definitely impressive. Yeah. I was barely coming off of drugs at your age, right? And so, obviously the future holds big things because, one, he controls his day through structure, through his habits. He's a reader. He's always looking for the next thing to do that he can take into his life on a day-to-day basis. Oh, meditating, cool. I want to try that. Let's talk about that for a second. The first time you did it was probably weird as fuck, right?
No, it was terrible. I didn't think I could ever do it because my brain's running.
Yeah, what the hell it almost seemed like it was pointless for the first little bit, but it is pointless for the first little bit because you're not getting a lot out of it, but you're disciplining yourself so that you could eventually get to that point. First time picking up a basketball or maybe the first time showing up to wrestling, you're not going to be any good, right?
Do you guys meditate
it's a matter of reps. I do for 5 to 10 minutes every morning.
Nice.
So this morning I did.
Do you ever do it at night? Like
I don't do. I when I go to bed at night, which is what I've started doing over the last few months. Right when I lay in bed, I just take a deep breath and mentally say, I'm releasing the day. Right. So I take a deep breath and just say, I'm unloading the day. Any stress that happened or anything bad that happened, I just take a deep breath and I feel my body just relax. Like I just unloaded, right? Rather than going to bed tense or tight or maybe thinking way too much. So I try to get in a little, and I'm not saying I take 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Right. That would be a flat out lie. It's literally probably, 20 to 30 seconds where I just kind of take a deep breath. And when I exhale, I just say all my problems of today are gone, right? And then my body just kind of calms down and relaxes so that I can get some sleep. But
dude, and I think, what's so good about doing podcasts like this is people can pick and choose and try different things.
Yeah.
What's really important is like, whatever I do, like, I don't know if it'll work for you.
Exactly. Yeah.
Your shit's going to change.
Yeah.
As you figure out new things and try new things and
But that's why the schedule's important and the structure, because if you don't have that and you're not repeatedly doing the same shit, you can't find where you're making errors, right? Like, it's like, well, if I'm not meditating every day, then like it could have been because of the meditation. It could have not.
Do you feel on a day that you don't do it, it feels off?
Yeah. It definitely does. I feel less productive.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm more egoic in being, right? So I'm more of that regular person.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure when you guys are just have everything going on, like how many times have you opened Instagram, you just click it, you swipe, and then you close it, and then you just open it again, like for no reason. Like there's no like you caught up to your feet. It's just habit, bro.
It's the same concept of going to the fridge and opening it, staring at it, shutting it, and then you sit on the couch 3 minutes later. You're like,
go back up there. Like,
let's see if anything. Food, let's see if anything appeared in like the last 3 minutes.
There's no more food. It's like nothing changed, but it's just habit. Right?
Yeah.
But I want to stay on that meditating thing because I think like you're onto something too. Like when you start, it's hard.
Yeah.
Right? Because I'm thinking like you have to slow your mind down. You have to tell it to stop. Don't do anything, which is unusual.
Yeah.
But then once you've gotten good at it, it's the most freeing thing in the world because then you're just being.
Yeah.
Like everything else can wait. I'm going to just be me for a second in quiet, And I think that's super important because it's like, your mind doesn't get a rest. Everything else gets to rest. Even when you're sleeping, you're dreaming, right? Like you're always focused on something. Your mind never gets to rest. But dude, you never also get to be yourself, Like I'm really big on this idea that like everybody else has a different, like there's millions of versions of you.
Yeah.
Nobody knows the real you, only you, right?
Yeah.
Like even you and Kale, you guys have been boys forever. He only knows the versions that you've let him see or the times that you've spent together. So like his interpretation of Trevor is this one guy built off of the thousands of experiences you've had.
Well, it's the same with Instagram. People will watch us and they only know what they see, right? They don't see our personal lives or, that side of us, right? Yeah. It's always business mode when we're on, a podcast or we're on Instagram because we're just trying to bring value in that way. But even meditating, I do think that helps in business, kind of clear the mind to kind of go into the day with just a little bit more calmness about you, right? Clarity,
too.
right?
Self-awareness.
Exactly.
But that's the human condition,
Yeah.
Like that's what we want is for everybody to interpret us as who we truly are. And that's the disconnect that will never happen. Nobody will ever fully know you. I was reading this book and it talks about, I don't know exactly what the name is, but it's when a baby first looks into the mirror and recognizes that that's him. Mm-hmm. And it's like the moment where you lose all innocence of who you truly are, right? Because before
now
that,
you're evaluating
your,
yourself.
Thoughts, your consciousness, like you're just being.
Yeah.
And then you look in the mirror, you're like, whoa, that's me? Like, that doesn't represent what's going on in here. How do I make it the same? And then now you're letting other opinions come in and trying to conform and be accepted, but also be you.
Yeah.
And so that's tough. And so I think before you can go out and do anything, whether it's start a business, build relationships, you have to be true to yourself, and to do that, you need to get to know yourself. And through meditation, I think that's the only way. There's a lot of times I've been meditating, right? And then at the end of the meditation, I'll just be like, the 4 agreements. Like, I don't, pulled it out from 4 years ago. I had a buddy tell me to read it, blah, blah, blah. Like, I was just like, 4 agreements.
Yeah.
Bought the book instantly, read the book the next day, done. And I think when your mind is that clear, dude, you could pull answers from anywhere.
I believe that too.
Yeah.